Although nobody knows exactly when Jan van Eyck was born, he was one of the most well-known and talented painters of the 1500s. He was a Flemish painter who was very well known for his highly realistic figure paintings. He served as a painter and attendant to the Count of Bavaria Holland and the Duke of Burgundy, and had a great reputation during his lifetime, until he died in 1441. The first painting I will be discussing is entitled Man in a Turban. It was painted in 1433 using oil on wood. Nobody truly knows who this is a painting of, although many believe it to be a self-portrait of Jan van Eyck himself. This painting is very representative of humanism, as it focuses on appreciating the beauty of humanity. There are various techniques used throughout this painting. Chiaroscuro can be seen as the man's face is very light in comparison to the dark background, giving this painting depth. Sfumato is another technique that is used. It can be seen on the man's face as it is shaded from light to dark, establishing a light source and giving the face form. This technique is also apparent in the folds of the man's turban. Finally, the technique of realism can be seen through the detail that Eyck added to the wrinkles on the man's face, making the painting look more realistic. Next is a painting entitled Portrait of Cardinal Albergati. It is a painting of Cardinal Albergati, who is an Italian cardinal of the Roman Catholic Church. It was painted in 1435 using oil on wood. Humanism is represented through this painting as it is showcasing humanity for the purpose of appreciating it without the inclusion of any lesson. In this painting, Eyck used sfumato, as can be seen in the shading from light to dark on his face as well as on his clothing, to show the different forms. Realism was a technique that was also used when adding details to Albergati's face, such as the lines and wrinkles, making him look more realistic. The third painting is entitled The Virgin of Chancellor Rollin. It was painted in 1435 using oil on wood. In this painting, the Virgin in the red robe is presenting baby Jesus to the Chancellor while an angel holds a crown above her head. This painting is representative of a couple different characteristics of the Renaissance. One, being a return to Roman and Greek classics, can be seen by the inclusion of columns and arches in the background of the painting. The other characteristic is humanism. Eyck included lots of nature in this painting in order for people to simply appreciate its beauty. Some of the techniques that Eyck used in this painting were sfumato and realism. Sfumato can be seen in the shading of the clothing, showing the many folds. This can also be seen in the shading on the skin of the baby. Realism can be seen in regards to the background, as the nature is very detailed and has a very realistic appearance. The last painting I will be discussing is entitled Portrait of Baudouin de Lannoy. It is a painting of Baudouin de Lannoy, who was the Knight of the Golden Fleece, painted in 1435 using oil on oak. The characteristic of the Renaissance that this painting represents is humanism, as it was painted for the sole purpose of appreciating humanity. There are many techniques used in this painting. Foreshortening can be seen in Lannoy's right arm, as it looks as though it is retreating into the background. Another painting technique that was used is sfumato. This can be seen in the shading from light to dark on Lannoy's face, showing form. Lastly, the technique of chiaroscuro can be seen in the drastic contrast of the lightness of his face with the darkness of the background, giving the painting depth. Jan van Eyck was a very well-known, talented painter who created many works of art. His paintings were very reflective of humanism. Through his paintings, people could appreciate the beauty of humanity and nature, which was the true spirit of the Renaissance.